and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the MCP Majors Season 3 talk show brought to you by Garena. My name's AJ, I'm the Mustachio, and week 1 of the group stages so far has been absolutely insane as new challenges have been testing the decision-making abilities of so many of these squads. Now, those of you who are used to the pro scene so far, you know that there are some of those settings within this competition that Garena throws in there just to make it a little tougher for the players out there. What are these settings? The gun properties are first of all turned off, and secondly, the kill feed is not something that the players can see when they're in the game, which means out there on the battlefield, they do not know who's engaging in a gunfight. When they want to go in there for a third party, if they get shot by anyone, they do not know who it is. So from our perspective, we might see a really strong team going up perhaps against a newcomer, but they do not know that, and that pushes them to the brink. Now, if you thought that was already difficult, Garena decided to make things a little bit more crazier this time round, and they threw in a curveball for these players. What's that curveball? It's the revival system. Now, teams can get aggressive early game, they can go in for a certain engagement, and if things do not go their way, all they need is one superstar to back away from that situation and revive the whole squad to still be a viable team for that final circle battle. Day 1, we saw many underdogs rise to the theme of the current season of the MCP Majors. Hashtag Road to Redemption. Which one of them managed to find this? Let's take a look at the standings. Icon from Malaysia redeemed themselves after a mediocre performance at the Free Fire Challenges Malaysia, but on the very first day of the MCP Majors Season 3, they secured 2 impressive booyahs, both on Kalahari, and ending the day in first place. But the biggest question of the day was, can they keep that momentum up? Day number 2 of the group stages, on the other hand, we saw all of the top flight teams jump right back into the fray in terms of looking for that number 1 spot. Blacklist International, they shot from the 9th place all the way into first position with 2 very impressive booyahs of the day. And if that wasn't enough, right behind them, the players of Geek Fam were hot on their heels. You think that was crazy? Thoda, the champions of Free Fire Challenges Malaysia, slotted themselves into the 3rd spot. Now, the surprising thing here is the underdogs from the Philippines, Bloody Heads, they still maintain consistency. And not only did they maintain consistency, they rose up from the 5th spot up into the 4th placement for themselves. So that was a very impressive play coming through from the top flight teams as well as some of these underdogs just to kind of stay in the mid segment of the leaderboards. And when we moved on to day number 3 of the group stages, that is when we saw the awakening of Axis Esports continuing to climb up the ladder as they started off from day number 1 in that 8th spot, maintaining it on day number 2 as well, finally launching themselves into the 3rd place with 1 booyah in hand as well, just behind Team Thoda. Blacklist maintains their number 1 spot just to show exactly who the top dogs of the competition are. At the end of the day, you are looking to end up within the top 12. Why? Because at the end of the group stages, before we move on to the grand finals, the bottom 6 teams of the league will get eliminated. And on top of that, the top 2 teams from the grand finals will also get a slot at the Free Fire World Series. So a lot is at stake at the Season 3 of the MCP Majors. I know exactly why all of you are here. It's the same reason why you guys watch all of these shows throughout each and every single week. You want to learn from the pro players out there on the battlefield. And we have exactly that for you. Let's take a quick look at the 3 highlight plays of this week. When this battle first starts, Icon is caught outside of the safe zone, being gate-kept by the players of the Eastern Wolves gang. Both these Malaysian teams most definitely know each other in and out, and Man steps on forth as the hero of the squad to shut down Manchai. He gets the shot, but immediately traded out by Kaizen. And Flame steps up to the plate, and with his trusted double-barrel shotgun, the M1887, pumps out 1 shot, 1 kills. Each and every single gunshot out of this shotgun gives you 8 shells of doom, making it a deadly weapon in close quarters combat. Quick decision making is key to securing your squad a booyah. Match 2 of Day 2 saw the players of Geek Fam in the best position to secure said booyah in the final circle, as they outnumbered the Eastern Wolves gang as well as Toda, who only had one player each still surviving. This is where we saw supreme decision-making skills by Afik from Toda. He first pressures the players of Geek Fam out of their position with a single grenade, and using that momentum, he repositions himself whilst Manchai catches man 04 and finishes him off. The gun that Afik has in his hands is the popular AC-80. This marksman rifle has a special perk in the game. If you hit 2 shots back-to-back on the same target, it will deal additional damage. Manchai continues to stay hidden from Geek Fam, but remember the 3000 IQ play from Afik's reposition earlier? That gave him a direct line of sight to catch Manchai off guard, but before going in for the kill, he very quickly pulls out a glue wall first to secure the direction of Geek Fam so that he's fully covered and finishes off Manchai. Timing is key here, as Fikri breaks Afik's glue wall. A lightning-fast time turner is then pulled out by Afik as he uses it to knock Fikri down and pulls out another glue wall to buy himself a little bit more time. He uses reverse psychology in this circumstance and just rushes Exact, who thought he could save his team member and keep the numbers advantage. Great mechanical skills and amazing decision-making skills displayed by Afix shows exactly why Toda is the current king of Free Fire Malaysia. Battle of the resources as well as positioning. Both Toda and the Eastern Wolves gang were running low on resources, especially on their glue walls. Toda identifies the only compound available in the final circle and uses it as cover. EWG, on the other hand, is stuck outside on open grounds without cover and is forced to use all of their glue walls. Chill finds the initial knock onto Manchai and Fall MX trades out Chill. That was a good start. Jace from the side of EWG uses his final glue wall to get closer to Toda, and with his SVD, knocks Ames, who tries to pick Chill up. This leaves 2 players with 0 glue walls, SVD versus the Woodpecker. Both have great accuracy, but the Woodpecker has a slight advantage in mid-range combat, whereas the SVD excels mainly in long-range engagements. Spark doubles back to grab an extra glue wall from his fallen teammate as an insurance, and the timing of his reposition completely confuses Fall MX, allowing Spark to end the game with the M21 Woodpecker. It was a crazy run for the players of Toda in that match. Blacklist International, the winners of MCP Majors Season 2, are back to show who's king, maintaining a great ratio between their kills and rank points and a whopping 45,000 damage dealt over the 3 play days. Toda, the current kings of Malaysia, find 3 booyahs, but also find themselves staring at the backs of Blacklist International as they sit in the 2nd position and 31 points behind them. One key highlight is how they managed to fully utilize the revival system to make sure they do not fall too far behind the rest as they continue to experiment with their approach towards the early parts of the group stages. In the 3rd place, Axis Esports have definitely been underperforming for the first 3 days of the group stages, but that being said, even without their usual explosive selves, they have managed to climb up to the 3rd spot, Geek Fam. Winners of the MCP Majors Season 1, who also went on to play at the Free Fire World Series 2021. They are starting the league stage with a soft approach and have been showing some signs of weakness since the departure of Akik. That said, you will notice that they are still one of the best mechanically skilled teams in the competition, and their total damage alongside the number of headshots prove exactly how lethal they are. But understanding the team's drop zones as well as rotations over the course of the group stages is their focus to guarantee a whooper at the grand final. But that's the grand finals. We're still in the group stages. Do not forget to tune in to week 2 of the MCP Majors Season 3 tomorrow, the 18th of March at 8 p.m. Brought to you by Garena. And you know what? The road to redemption is not just for the players, but for us production as well. We know you've been absolutely missing the giveaways, and we've got exactly that coming up for you on Friday, Saturday, as well as Sunday. On Friday, you get to redeem 2 Lightning MP40 boxes. The Skull Hunter AK will be available for you on Saturday, and on Sunday, you will be able to take home 2 of the Violet Terror gun box. So make sure you do not miss that broadcast, ladies, German boys, girls. And on that positive note, I would like to wish all of you guys the best of the day ahead. Make sure you continue to stay safe, sanitize your hands, double mask so that you have that extra layer of protection. And I'll see you guys out there on the battlefield.